I know you guys haven't exactly figured out where your region is yet. I know you're doing position. You guys kind of get that out on sign days over. But when you were at Vanderbilt or previous stops, kind of where are some of the top areas that you've been in charge of? Where are some of the areas you're very familiar with? Kind of, not necessarily schools, but regions.
Well, before I get to talk about myself specifically, our staff is a Northeast staff. We've got a number of different coaches that are from the state of Pennsylvania. We've got a number of different coaches that are from the state of New Jersey, New York. So we're here really to put a huge emphasis on dominating the region. We're going to dominate the state, as Coach said in his press conference. But then our surrounding regions, New Jersey, New York, Maryland, Virginia, those are all areas that we're excited about getting in, developing the relationships, and really recruiting from a standpoint. One of the advantages that we had from our previous institution is we were such a national recruiting area that we recruited all over the country. We're still going to apply that same method here. We're going to go out and find the best and the brightest student athletes from all over the country that are interested in Penn State University, but we're also going to focus on the areas that we have that we consider home state. So we're excited to get out and recruit for this university and this prestigious football program, and continue to develop the success that Penn State football has had in the past.
Appreciate it. Then you specifically then, just kind of where are some of the areas?
Specifically, yeah, I've been in the Virginia Beach area. I've recruited in the Tampa, all throughout the Florida area. I basically I had from Tampa all the way down to Fort Lauderdale. I've recruited in the Tennessee area, the Memphis area. I also recruited in the Michigan area. There isn't an area or there isn't a guy on our staff that couldn't go in any area and be successful in recruiting. And I truly believe we have that talent from a recruiting standpoint, obviously from a chemistry standpoint. Recruiting is all about relationships. Obviously, coming here, we're going to have to continue to develop the relationships with all the high school coaches within the state of Pennsylvania and all our recruiting areas. But there's not one guy on our staff that couldn't go anywhere. You can send anybody on our staff to Alaska and we'll bring back the top player, and we're excited about it.
We'll probably play hockey. Real quick, some of the top 2 or 3 guys that you played a big part in over at Vanderbilt. I know obviously you can't talk about the guys that aren't signed, but top guys that over, last year, 2 years, 3 years ago, some of the top guys that, you kick-started that recruitment. I know it was a team effort to really land them then, but some of the guys that you played a major part in kick-starting.
Well, I'll never take the single-hand credit. Obviously, we recruit as a staff. We do an unbelievable job developing those relationships as a staff, so a kid doesn't necessarily have to come in and just know the wide receiver coach. He's going to get a chance to meet the offensive coordinator, Coach Donovan. He's going to get a chance to develop relationships with our quarterbacks coach, Coach Ronnie. So we do an unbelievable job team recruiting, and that's something that we will continue to do here. No kid ever is going to be recruited by Penn State and just know one coach. He's going to know us all because it's all about relationships and developing that family atmosphere. But if you look over the past years and some of the receivers that were recruited there and some of the other positions, you'll see we're excited to be here at Penn State and continue to bring in a top recruiting class in the country.
All right, last question. I don't know if you'll answer it for me or not, but I'm going to ask anyways. How many scholarships you got left?
That's a number right now that's just floating out there. We're excited to be on the job. We're excited about finishing this recruiting class strong. I don't want to get into numbers, but I will tell you this. There's a number of bright student athletes across the country that are excited about Penn State football, excited about the future and the direction that we're taking this program, and we're excited to be here.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Can you talk about the concept of offensive and defensive recruiting coordinators? What, obviously, other than the obvious, what kind of is the focus? What are the differentials between what a typical coordinator would be doing?
Well, we have really a department that we've kind of really structured among our program. Our head recruiting coordinator, obviously, is Coach Franklin.
Yeah.
It starts from the top and works itself down to the bottom. Then we have our player personnel director, Andy Frank, that does an unbelievable job organizing the structure of our recruiting department, making sure calendars, make sure our roster number, evaluation standpoint. He really does an unbelievable job. And then we have an offensive, defensive recruiting coordinator. And really, it's our job to make sure that we're emphasizing recruiting. Obviously, recruiting is a very, very important part of our program. It's very important to the future of our program, and it's something that we treat equally as well as offensive and defensive game planning. So that's basically our role as offensive recruiting coordinators and defensive recruiting coordinators. Make sure each week we're spending that amount of time to developing the future of our program as well as game planning and preparing for our opponents.
So how does that kind of mesh with, a lot of times you'll recruit a kid who is a great offensive lineman but maybe ends up being a D lineman, It's not, you guys aren't really projecting guys that early.
There's no fight, there's no struggle on our staff when it comes down to recruiting. We want to recruit the best student athletes across the country that fit the mold of the individuals that we want to be a part of our program. It doesn't matter if you play O-line, D-line, running back, tight end. We work under one number, and that's all for the team. So we'll never be in positions where we're just selfishly recruiting our own position. We recruit as a staff, we recruit as a team. Our recruiting obviously starts from the top and works itself down. So with Coach Franklin, everybody's always on the same page, and I believe that's the number one thing that's led to the chemistry that we've had in recruiting and some of the success that we've had in recruiting as well.
How difficult was it to pick everything up so quickly that Penn State had been doing, touching base with the commits and that sort of thing? Because you guys, you had to hit the ground running.
We hit the ground running, and it was a full sprint. I'm not sure we've slowed down yet, obviously, now just today to be here for the press conference. But it's something that we're balancing. We're balancing it right now with getting a chance to know our own players on the roster, develop those relationships as well as recruiting. Penn State is a national brand. There's a lot of people excited about what we're doing here, a lot of people excited about the future of this program. We're excited to be here. We can't be more thrilled to be a part of this prestigious program and represent Penn State and go out and wear the blue and white each and every day as we get out on the road and go recruiting. So we've been staying up late at night. This past week I've been in about 6 different states with Coach Franklin, and it's something, little sleep, but the reward is very, very high. So we're excited to finish this recruiting period up strong. We look forward to the young men that we're able to bring in to be a part of our program.
What's he like as a travel partner?
Oh, he's awesome. He's awesome. He's all about relationships. So whenever you get a chance to travel and recruit with him and develop that personal relationship, obviously he offers advice, and he's just there with you on the road. To be that guy that you can really look up to as a role model, and the guy that you really shape all your coaching model really behind. But he's awesome. He's a tireless recruiter. Now it doesn't matter. You can put him on a plane at 2 in the morning and you will not wear him out. We've tried, but we can't do it. So he's as excited about recruiting as we are.
Is there anything about him that would surprise people that you could tell us? Maybe something funny, maybe not. I don't know.
I think the biggest thing that's going to surprise people is his work ethic. As Coach always says, and it speaks for our staff, you may find smarter staffs, better staffs, or bigger name staffs than anyone in the country, but you'll never find a harder working staff. It's a staff that's truly committed to making this program be as successful as it can be, getting it back to the national championship level, and we're willing to go above and beyond in any area, whether it's developing our players, whether it's recruiting, whether it's making sure that our student athletes are the best in the community. We're gonna work very, very hard in developing the total student athlete.
Thanks, Josh. I appreciate it.
Thank you.